Hello, my wonderful students and chemistry lovers. Today I'm going to talk to you about shapes of molecules. And we're going to use the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory or VESPA theory to explore this. My name is Dr. Lutano Kwesili, and I'm going to serve as your guide today in this interesting lecture and conversation. Okay? One of the limitations of Lewis structures, or what we call the electron dot structures, is that it shows us the structure of molecules as existing only in two dimensions. However, we live in a three-dimensional world, and the actual structures of molecules are three-dimensional in shape. So a curious mind will ask, why do molecules take on 3D shapes instead of being flat or planar, or instead of being two-dimensional? The answer to this question lies in understanding and appreciating the whole idea or concept of VESPA theory. Okay? So according to the VESPA model or VESPA theory, electrons around the central atom repel each other. Recall that electrons around the central atom could be in form of single bond or multiple bonds, and also a form of lone pair of electrons that usually sit on the central atom. The point here is that whether lone pair of electron or covalent bond, single or multiple, all of these represent what we call electron groups, or you call it electron domains. And all of these electron groups, whether lone pair of electron or single or multiple bonds that surround the central atom or that links the central atom to their terminal atoms, all these electron groups or electron domains are also known as electron clouds, and they are negatively charged. And we know in science that like charges repel each other. So the VESPA theory tells us that the lone pairs sitting on top of a central atom with the covalent bonds that link the central atom to the terminal atoms repel each other, since they all form the electron clouds around the central atom. So the VESPA theory uses this repulsion to describe or predict the shapes or geometry of the molecules. All right? So in simple terms, the valence shell electron pair repulsion model or theory is a set of empirical rules that helps us to ultimately predict the geometrical shapes, or what we call the molecular geometry, using Lewis structures as our input. So the point here is that the Lewis structure is required for us to even begin to talk about the VESPA theory. So you can see how important the Lewis structure is. Recall from the Lewis structures in the last series of lecture videos, we were able to also describe what we call the resonance structures. We were able to determine the formal charges, and we were also able to depict what we call the resonance hybrid. Right now, we are talking about the VESPA theory, and you now discover again that the Lewis structure happens to be the input or the basis upon which we can even begin to talk about the VESPA theory in the first instance. So the Lewis structure is fundamental whenever you want to talk about geometries of molecules or shapes of molecules, as you can see. Again, this VESPA theory was developed ultimately by two scientists. Sidgwick and Powell were the first two scientists in the year 1940 to try to use the Lewis structure to determine the shapes of molecules. However, two scientists, Ronald Gillespie, who is a British scientist, working with an Australian chemist, Ronald Nauru, in the year 1957, came up with what we know today as the VESPA theory, which is also known as the Gillespie-Nauru theory. Okay? And again, This particular VSEPR theory or Gibbs-Nyholm theory is based on the idea that the shapes of molecules or polyatomic ions are fundamentally dependent on the repulsive interactions between the electron pairs or electron domains surrounding the central atom. Remember, these electron pairs or electron domains can either be bonding electrons involved in making either single or multiple covalent bonds. It also involves the non-bonding electrons or the lone pair of electrons. That's why we said when you are trying to determine the electron groups around the central atom, you also treat a lone pair of electron as though it were to be a single or multiple covalent bond. The whole idea is that a lone pair of electron also represents what we call an electron domain or electron cloud around that central atom. Suffice it to say that only the valence electrons of the central atom can influence the molecular shape of that particular molecule in a meaningful way. This we are going to, extensively explore. Now we are going to talk about what we call the basic assumptions of the VSEPR theory. So this Gibbs-Nyholm theory have main postulates, all right? They have main comments that helps us to appreciate the whole idea of molecular geometry. And the first comment or first postulate of the VSEPR theory is that the shape of the molecule is dependent upon the number of the valence shell electron pairs, the number of bonding and non-bonding electrons. So for us to determine the shape of any given molecule or the geometry of any given molecule, the first point of call is for us to take into account, we have to count the number of lone pairs of electron and the number of bonded pairs of electron around the central atom. Again, whether it is a multiple bond or double or triple bond or single covalent bond that links the central atom to a terminal atom, each of these represents an electron domain or electron pair or an electron cloud, the same way as a lone pair or lone pairs of electrons sitting on the central atom also represent what? An electron pair, okay, or electron cloud or electron domain. So we must first of all count the number of bonding and non-bonding electrons around a central atom if we must be able to determine the shape of that molecule. The second comment is that these pairs of electrons repel each other. We have said that before because lone pairs of electron has electron density, just like localized electrons involved in chemical bonds also has electron density, and the electron clouds they form are negatively charged, so they will always want to stay as far apart from each other as possible. That is the second idea of the VSEPR theory. The third idea of the VSEPR theory is that these electron clouds or electron domains or electron pairs, they tend to occupy positions in space that make for minimum propulsion, all right? And of course, the distance between them is maximized because ultimately they are trying to run away from each other, and that way they minimize repulsion doing that, okay? Nice. And of course, the distance between them, they tend to occupy more space. They tend to occupy more space because they are trying to stay away from each other as far as possible, all right? Nice. Okay, so the fourth postulate is that a multiple bond is treated as a single electron pair or a single electron domain. All right, the same way double or triple bonds, okay, are treated as also a single electron domain. However, for double or triple bonds, we normally refer to them as single super pair. If you are looking at the double or triple bond as electron clouds. You can as well say that this electron cloud formed in a single covalent bond is not as strong as electron cloud formed in the double and triple covalent bond. This is because of the electron density, because in the double bond we have 4 electrons, in the triple bond we have 6 electrons. However, all of these electrons are treated as one electron domain. So irrespective of the number of covalent bonds, in trying to determine the shape of a molecule, we treat all of them as though they are single bond, or what we call single electron pair. Okay? However, those electron pairs involved in the double or triple bond can as well be referred to as a single super pair. All right? Because they have stronger electron clouds around them because of their higher electron density. Nice. So the fifth postulate is that when you have 2 or more resonance structures, we can represent the molecule using the VSEPR theory. Where 2 or more resonance structures can represent a molecule, the VSEPR model is also applied to any of such structure. That is the fifth postulate. Another important thing we must mention here is that the repulsive interaction of electron pairs decreases in the following order. As a matter of fact, the repulsion between a lone pair of electron and a lone pair of electron is highest and higher than the repulsion between a lone pair of electron and a bonded pair of electron. Again, the repulsion between the lone pair of electron and a bond pair of electron is higher than the repulsion between the bond pair of electron and bond pair of electron. Put in another way, electrons used for making covalent bonds, of course, will try to stay apart from each other, but their repulsive interaction is not as high as when you have a repulsion between a lone pair of electron and a bond pair. As a matter of fact, the repulsion or the repulsive interaction between a lone pair of electron and a lone pair of electron is highest. That is the point. Okay, so in order for us to ultimately predict the geometry or geometrical shapes of molecules using this Gillespie-Naulin theory or the VSEPR theory, it is convenient for us to divide molecules into 2 categories as follows. The first category, category A, is now we talk about molecules whose central atoms has no lone pairs. All right? And we also talk about category B, which involves molecules whose central atoms has 1 or more lone pairs of electrons. This is important because the repulsive interaction between these 2 categories of molecules are not the same. Okay? Once you have lone pairs of electron around the central atom, you are going to have more repulsion, all right, between the electron domains surrounding that particular central atom. All of these are basic concepts that were developed by Ronald Gillespie and Ronald Naulin in the year 1957. And understanding these postulates will help us once we enter, when we go into the active determination of the molecular geometries of molecules. So all of this is by way of introduction to the whole concept of molecular geometry. In the next lecture video, I'm going to pay attention to now show you the models developed by Gillespie and Naulin, or what we call the applications of the VSEPR theory in determining the different geometries of different molecules and polyatomic ions. Stay with us here on our page in Chem Class with Dr. Rota, and if this particular lecture made sense to you, or you learned 1 or 2 from it, kindly like, love, share it, and make your comments so that this video can actually continue to reach other students that need this understanding that you just got today. Until the next time, stay safe and be careful. Bye.